Victorian government says it could amend controversial pandemic legislation after thousands of people protested in Melbourne's CBD. The state opposition leader has hosted a pandemic legislation forum to discuss the bill. Joining me live now is the Victorian Shadow Treasurer, David Davis. Thanks so much for your time. This has already passed the lower house. Good morning to you. I mean, is this a fait accompli now? Is it just going to be waved through, or what changes can you force, or do you anticipate?
Well, there's a couple of things here. This lockdown pandemic bill is a very bad bill. It rips powers from the community. It gives the government and the Premier in particular huge powers to lock down, creating vast uncertainty into the future. We want to recover and rebuild. So that's what's wrong with this. They pushed it through the lower house in just 2 days, a week or so ago. The Law Institute has criticised it. The Bar Council's criticised it. 60 QCs have come out and made a number of key points. The truth is that the bill gives enormous power to the government to cause these lockdowns, and we will oppose it with everything we can. Now, in our chamber, the upper house of the Victorian Parliament, there is a group of independents who are certainly very closely aligned with the government, and it's likely that they will vote for it. They've already voted on the first reading to push it forward. We will seek to amend it, but that won't fix it, I don't think, and there may be other amendments too. It's even possible the government will amend too.
Yeah, look, this is really important because I think for 2 years people have been shocked at how much power some of the chief medical officers have had in individual states, including in Victoria. This bill seeks to move that power from the CMOs to the politicians, but still that's kind of shifting in a way that's not acceptable. So are you saying the best solution here is for a parliament to decide, and in a pandemic when things need to move quickly, is that efficient?
Well, we understand that there may need to be declarations from time to time on a range of things, but we think it should come back to Parliament for extensions. We don't think you can have a health minister just signing the thing off endlessly. And Daniel Andrews and his ministers have shown this trigger-happy propensity to lock us down. I mean, people need to understand what's happened in Victoria. The longest lockdown in the world. And in terms of other states, we've had more deaths and more serious infections. And the economy has really taken a hit. So businesses and families have taken a hit with this too. People don't want more lockdowns. They actually want a sensible management practice that actually cuts out as many of these lockdowns as possible. Now, it should come back to Parliament. Extensive rolling lockdowns, as we've seen, are just completely unacceptable without proper democratic oversight. These orders that are made and are going to be made under this bill would not realistically be disallowable, and we say they should be. The Parliament should have an oversight, and there should be an oversight committee that can actually have some proper control. This is a grab for power, and we will oppose it with every bone in our body. We'll seek to amend it, but there's no likelihood that these amendments could be sufficient enough to make the bill acceptable.
Okay, we'll see how that goes. David Davis, thanks so much for your time.
Pleasure.